WrestleMania 40 Saturday absolutely delivered, and it's a new era in the WWE. The tag team match was a movie. I mean, The Rock actually did stuff. He barely even had to. Rhea versus Becky cooked. Gunther versus Sammy gave you that WrestleMania moment. By the way, I acknowledge my ring general. The ladder match was fun. Cody kissed the Prime bottle? Come on, Cody. The chicken last year wasn't enough. The things Cody does. And Jey versus Jimmy was a thing. It certainly was a thing. Oh man. Some of you are watching this video after night 2 of WrestleMania, so how are we feeling? Are we happy boys or are we angry boys? Did Cody win the championship and finish the story, or did we get a promo on Raw about how he disappointed the fans? So how are we feeling? Now, I actually made a very wise decision and I didn't go to X during the entire show. I didn't want people to influence my opinion on the show, and I had a lot of fun with the show, like I've said. I open Twitter now. Worst Mania ever! Worst decisions ever! When Collision starts. Collision? You're watching WrestleMania and you're wondering about a collision?
We're not in the same business.
God, I hope WWE never caters to the internet too much. It's absolutely wild. Now, the show wasn't perfect, I understand. I'm just saying that it absolutely delivered. I had my problems, I have my nitpicks, that's my job, of course. And everybody jumps into making WrestleMania reviews right after the pay-per-view, and I understand. I get it. Maybe I would if I could, but the pay-per-view ends at like 6 a.m. in my country. I'm all left up, right? I'm dead, basically. And that's with most papers. But the thing is, like, I still could, but I just want to make a good video. I don't want to forget that. I want to make a good, well-edited video. And I'm saying this because I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the fact that even though this is, you know, a bit more late than other reviews, you're still watching the OG of wrestling YouTube. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So let's talk about WrestleMania 40. Make sure to subscribe to allow me to finish my story, which is 500,000 subscribers. Let's get into it. First of all, we got a new WWE Then Now Forever intro, which basically, yes, signifies the new era in the WWE, Vince McMahon-less era. We love America, and we see Triple H, who, yes, he said, welcome to the new era of the WWE. That's all he said, that's all he needed to say. Like, I've seen some interviews, and he made it clear. This is the new era of the WWE, and it starts right here at WrestleMania 40. So, you know, I've seen the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman was just so freaking good. It seems like the locker room is very, very positive, and they like working under Triple H. And you just absolutely love to see it. You know, that WWE roster, everybody basically has that trust in Triple H, and I think it's about to get really, really good, man. It's about to get really, really good. Another thing is the Prime bottle in the ring. You know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because it was basically black, right? It didn't have any color. And I think it just blended in. What didn't, though, is all the sponsors. But at the end of the day, this is not an episode of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I kinda got used to it. My only problem is some of these sponsors were way too bright, like kinda, you know, distracting in a way. Like tone it down just a little bit, but I understand you gotta make that money and, you know, can't really complain, and even if I do, who gives a shit, right? The first match was Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. So Becky got this great entrance with her book. Rhea Ripley got that live music entrance, which is also great. You can see her marking out, basically. Now, was the match good? Absolutely. You know, I think it was such a great way to start the show. I absolutely loved it. I was kind of nervous because obviously there's a lot of pressure. Rhea Ripley had that great match last year against Charlotte Flair, and was it as good? Maybe, maybe not, but I think it was pretty darn close. Obviously, big shoes to fill right here. But this match didn't have any other sponsors other than Prime, which is, again, a great decision just to show us how WrestleMania actually looks, because even during the main event, we can't see the real graphics of WrestleMania. Now, of course, this was a very predictable match. They kept talking about how cold it is right here in Philly, which kinda affected the match because you couldn't see any sweat. They were freezing to death, basically. But, I mean, you can't control these type of things. The finish was great. Riptide in the turnbuckle, and a regular one for the W. Rhea Ripley retains the championship as expected. The only thing missing was, in my opinion at least, is just that show of respect. Becky was all sad, and I get that. There's more matches to come, probably. But I think that was the only, like, moment missing to make it into this WrestleMania moment, right? But again, absolutely love this match. Now, my cousin was watching the show. We were texting basically during the entire show, and he's a casual fan, right? Like, he only watched WWE as a kid. And it's crazy how even casual wrestling fans, they can see which match is good. You know, he basically said this was great, and when we got Jimmy versus Jade, it was a different story. We got the ladder match, a bunch of, you know, short but pretty decent entrances, like the attires. The presentation was just absolutely on point when it comes to this WrestleMania. Now, obviously, you gotta grab 2 championships. It's a really tough match to have, because you gotta know everything. A lot of people in the ring, a lot of things can go wrong, a lot of people can forget things, but I think this absolutely delivered. We got all of the crazy spots we need, and you know what, people? Austin Theory and Grayson Waller actually won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which made me really, really happy. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I was really, really happy it did. The only thing missing was theme songs, right? Like, they grabbed these championships, and I know the match didn't end, but it seems like they didn't really get that WrestleMania moment, because obviously the match continues and they're still in the match, and of course they took those goddamn bumps. So this was absolutely crazy. New Catch Republic, the Judgment Day, DIY, obviously they had these, you know, crazy ass spots. Thankfully though, we still get that WrestleMania moment when R-Truth grabbed the championships, and this was the first time R-Truth won a championship or even a match at WrestleMania, I believe. So absolutely loved it. I don't know how I feel about the championships being split. On one hand, love it. On the other hand, I didn't really mind it that much. I just didn't like the fact that they carried, you know, 4 championships basically. And one thing that I wish is going to happen after WrestleMania, new era, right? New designs, please. Please. Time for Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos, Escobar, and Dirty Dominik Mysterio. Everybody just made their entrances together, and this match was actually a lot of fun, and my prediction actually changed, but I didn't know that Andrade is going to be in that match, right? But I gotta say, this was great. I like the fact that, you know, we got all of these crazy ass spots. Everybody at ringside started fighting, so I enjoyed the match, but of course, it's WrestleMania, it's very mainstream, so of course we're going to get some shit that, you know, us marks are not gonna, like, appreciate. We got 2 masked men who basically helped Rey Mysterio and Andrade win. Well, it's more like they stopped the opponents from cheating, and I was like, who are these guys? Who are the big ass men behind these masks? It's Philadelphia Eagles players, and I get that the crowd probably popped. I understand. Like, when I see musicians that I like in the WWE, you know, I think we saw Hardy, Morgan Wallen, Nickelback at some point. Who else? I don't know. If I like these people, I'm going to mark out. I don't know what this is, but I understand, right? It's just that this is probably the least important match on the card, so that's why they did it. Whatever the case may be, Rey Mysterio does not like putting his son over at WrestleMania. Now, still enjoy the match. Jey versus Jimmy the Usos. So, pretty simple entrances for the most part. I was so excited about this. I was like, they're about to cook. We're going to see a goddamn movie. It's about to be cinema. Super kick? Another super kick. Oh, 59,000 more super kicks. Okay, I see. Yeah. Oh, so I'm basically watching a Young Bucks match. I tried to get into it. Even my cousin texted. So, also, only super kicks? Is it me or this is ass? And I'm like, just wait. And I waited, and we waited, and I'm watching the match, and it's like, they tried something where Jimmy almost begged Jey not to continue with the match, and, you know, he turned on his brother, and then the match just kinda ends. And I'm like, this match needed 5 more minutes. It needed more moves. It needed more story. The crowd were not as much into it as I thought they would be. And I hate to say it, man. Like, I was so excited about the match. I was like, this is going to steal the show. It didn't. It was probably the worst match on the show. I hate to say it, like, really hate to say it. Like, I love the Usos, but I was honestly disappointed. I tried to convince almost myself that maybe it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. It was just super kick party. Who gives a shit?
We're not in the same business.
Yeah, this was disappointing. And the fact that Jey Uso won, I mean, why? Don't you want to have another match with a stipulation or something? I don't know. Really, really disappointing stuff. Look, I still enjoyed it, but it's Jey versus Jimmy, so your expectations are a lot higher. 6-women tag team match. So they entered the ring together. The entrances were short, but still did the job. And this match was exactly, like, to the bone, exactly what you thought it would be. Just a lot of quick shit. not bad, not great. Just a showcase of these women. Obviously, Naomi coming back, and most importantly, Jade, Cargill. And she was even won with the pin. It did the job. That's what I can tell you about this one. Not memorable, did the job. Then it was time for Sami Zayn versus Gunther. You don't meet me right here, you owe me a favor, which is obviously a title shot later. Then he meets Kevin Owens backstage. The camera work was so good, and this would be one of my favorite WrestleMania entrants, so simple yet so effective. But somebody just plugged the goddamn HDMI cable out. Like, holy shit. Man, you had one job, but I get it, you know, things like these happen. And obviously, I'm here to acknowledge the Ring General. Dude, this was awesome. This is exactly what I want from my wrestling. This was Rocky 4, just like the commentators talked about. Absolutely loved it. Unpredictable, kinda. I'm not very good at reviewing matches and stuff. You saw the match, you know how good it was. Hard hitting, you got the strikes, you got all the right moves, you got the story in the match happening in front of your eyes. Like I've said, this was Rocky 4. All the near falls, Sammy's wife watching. I absolutely loved this. And when it seemed like Sami Zayn is out, he felt the energy. He got up. Gunther is shocked. A goddamn brainbuster. Helluva kick. Another Helluva kick. And Sami Zayn actually beats Gunther. He's your new Intercontinental Champion. What a moment. I take it back, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it's not gonna feel as big once you see the match. Once you see how great this match is. It changes your mind. Because the match was really, really good. It told a story. This is why... Look. This is what I expected from Jey versus Jimmy. But we got a super kick party.
We're not in the same business.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I wanted. And you know what? Maybe Sami was the right guy to beat Gunther. At the end of the day, Sami didn't get that moment after the whole Bloodline work. And this is big. You know, all the people who say, oh, this is beneath Sami Zayn. It's the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther held that championship for the longest time ever. How can you even say that? And I believe Sami is the guy that could also be a great Intercontinental Champion. He was as a heel, which I loved, by the way, but this is going to be something different. He's going to be basically like Gunther, just a babyface and kind of an underdog. He's still going to defend that championship. He's going to treat it with respect. He's going to bring that prestige. Loved it. I don't know. This was great. Man, it was finally time for the main event. Cody made his spectacular entrance. Absolutely loved it. He is the best at it. Seth Rollins, again, did not disappoint with the attire. The final boss entrance was just something else, man. Look, this dude is just... He's not a human being. He's a walking brand. He's the definition of mainstream, right? He came with the People's Championship that was given to him at the Hall of Fame. And then we saw Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman has that aura. He was jacked, man. And this was a very interesting match. A very interesting 44-minute match, I believe. And look, I can't give you all the spots, obviously, right? Like, come on. You saw the match, you know it. I'm here to tell you how I felt about it. And it's pretty simple. I'm watching the match and I'm like, okay, so basically it's going to be a very safe match. It's just a teaser for night 2, right? We're going to see The Rock throwing a couple of punches. And at first that was kind of the case. You know, they took their time at first and The Rock was here. I thought, is he not going to take any bumps? Because he didn't at first. But the match continues and then we got the chaos. The Rock threatening the referee not to do anything. No countouts, basically Bloodline Rules. That's exactly what we got. They were fighting outside the ring, you know, and this was absolute chaos, and I thought they were going to be safe, but they were not. They went all in. I was actually shocked, and knowing the fact that 3 of these men gotta wrestle the next day, I was like, please don't hurt yourselves. Please. And the storytelling in the match was great, like, you know, Roman Reigns hitting a spear to The Rock. They played with the crowd, and it's overbooked. But it's the main event of WrestleMania, and that's exactly what I want. I just reviewed WrestleMania 30, it's on my channel, and that's the vibe I got, right? Again, props to The Rock for actually doing something, and doing it really well. Now, we got spear to Cody, rock bottom to Cody, people's elbow to Cody, and The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes. So yes, the Bloodline wins. Bloodline Rules Night 2. Cody is having flashbacks, just like we all are. I absolutely loved this match. It was a goddamn movie. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Marking out right here. The thing is, what that mean, Great One? Why did The Rock pin Cody? I'm happy they didn't pin Rollins because it's the most obvious scenario and it hurts Rollins' credibility because obviously he was the, least popular out of the four. And the fact that they pinned Cody and it wasn't Roman, we gotta wait and see. It was The Rock with the help of Roman. They cheated during the entire match, right? So it's not that big of a deal. And it planned seeds for Cody versus Rock. And I can't wait. So far, so good. They also planted seeds for The Rock versus Roman because we got that spear. But, he should probably understand. I can't wait for night 2. Bloodline Rules. Will Cody make these phone calls? We don't know. We do not know what's gonna happen. And a lot of people, again, are going to say this was underwhelming. And I get that. We all have our opinions. I just had fun watching this fucking show. I had fun watching this show. That's what matters. And what helped is that it basically flew by. That's the thing I got out of this. Even this 44 or whatever minute match, it flew by. This felt like WWE 2K24 Universe Mode type of fucking shit. Where we got, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody, and Seth Rollins in the ring. What the hell is even happening? And like I've said, The Rock actually did shit. I didn't expect that at all. I was like, okay, he's going to be safe. Look, people, you gotta film those goddamn jungle movies. The jungle movies are not gonna, film by themselves. You gotta make them. 5 more. 10. As long as the jungle movie, The Rock is in it. But the man did it. And I hope he sticks around. I can't wait to see chaos like this in night 2. This was not a teaser. This shit is worth rewatching. It's going to age well. This was not just a teaser. So when it comes to WrestleMania 40, gigantic thumbs up, man. Loved it. I know it wasn't perfect by any means. It's just that we got variety. We got a little bit of everything. So again, thank you for watching this video. I can't describe how grateful, proud, happy, thankful I am to you guys that I get to do this for a living. It's my job, it's my hobby, it's my life. Come on, man. The fact that some of you care what I have to say about this, we all watched it, we get to share this. I love this shit, love it. So again, thank you so much. Subscribe, like if you didn't. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. See you after WrestleMania Night 2.